Welcome, and in the words of the immortal Jar Jar Binks, is some people gonna die? This is THAC0 Tuesday. We are playing Old School Essentials here on the Stream of Blood. Old School Essentials, of course, is a brilliant little book that basically takes the BX rules from early edition Dungeons & Dragons, the basic expert rules by Moldvay and Cook, and just puts them in a nice little beautiful layout. So everything's really easy to find. It corrects some mistakes that were in those old manuals, and it allows us to play Dungeons & Dragons the way it was meant to be played, back when it was pure, back when people knew what it meant to slay an orc, not like these kids these days who are popping pills, dancing all night at their raves, and then getting second wins and death saves. All these kids with their death saves. In my day, 0 HP meant death. Well, we'll see how our party does tonight. I'm already blurry. An auspicious start to the evening. Luckily, as a DM, I am a terrible dice roller, so maybe I won't end the lives of all of our adventurers tonight. I'm going to bring in those adventurers now. First off, I'm so glad I can't believe we waited this long to have this guy on the stream with me. He has said himself that his play style particularly fits this style of RPG, where it's very strategic, it's very combat is war, and you're trying to keep yourself alive. So I'm anxious for him tonight. I think his expertise will come in handy. Please welcome Clinton Trucks, everybody.
Heyo.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
I'm excited about this. Yeah, my playstyle has been described as not fun to watch, so I'm glad everyone is here.
Who has described it that way?
You, Jared. You.
That man. Was that me?
That was you.
Well, look, I mean, it's true that there is a difference between playing on a stream and playing at home, right? Sometimes when people play at home, they'll take more time with their decisions. They'll do things that are a little less theatrical and brash.
Sure. I don't flourish. I'm a surgical assassin who ekes out every point of advantage and squeezes out every bit of fun.
Let's get this fun right out of this game as quickly as you're a liar, though, by the way, because you're always really fun to play with, and your characters are very entertaining. So don't make up a bunch of malarkey, as the President of the United States would say. President Joe Malarkey Biden would call it malarkey, a word I quite like.
Keep it going.
Clint, you voted for Trump, right? Coming next into our stream, a fantastic,
I did.
A fantastic game master, a great player, and just a pleasure to have on the stream. You can see him as the keeper of the Spot Hidden streaming channel, where they play Call of Cthulhu, a game that we love here on the Stream of Blood, and they have a new series, a new series of Spot Hidden starting up really soon. You should watch it, and you should watch this guy right now. Please welcome London Carlisle, everybody.
Greetings, Internet.
Now that is an entrance.
Hello. How's it going, Jared?
Good, man. Yeah, the only thing you forgot to do was have, like, the boys are back in town playing behind you.
Oh, come on. Okay, can we try it? I'm just kidding.
We got all boys tonight, so it's going to be a real sausage fest.
Oh, yeah, that's how I like it. And I'm glad that I get to be here for Clint's first Stream of Blood game, so that's going to be rad.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, Clint, I've played 100 games with Clint, more than that, 300 games with Clint as a player, and we always have fun, don't we, Clint?
Every time.
Except when I get angry because you made sure that your character picked specific abilities that negate monster or bad guy attacks.
I, unfortunately, am a player who reads the book.
Clint will constantly be like, I'll be like, and the acid spit will get into your eyes and blind your, and Clint will be like, actually, I took the special goggles on page 317 that mean that your character's thing does nothing to me. So it's like, yeah,
Hannibal was staying
on the sheet,
Clint, this entire time. You know what? So glad you're here, buddy.
Yeah.
Doing my best.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, bringing our final player in. This guy, I've played a lot of games with this guy as well. He's a fantastic role player, comedian, and host. You might have seen him on Adam Ruins Everything. Please welcome our buddy, Adam Conover.
Hello, I'm just going through my bag of 100 dice.
There you go.
All the D6s I'm going to need.
You might not need all 100 of them.
I've never needed all 100 dice. I bought this and I said, I'll never need dice again. And really, I've never needed more than like the first eighth of this bag. So kind of a waste. I
think I've said on the stream before, my daughter likes my dice because she likes to go, all of them, and then just pour the whole bag out onto the floor. That's her thing. All of them is her thing.
Wow, that's a really good, that's a great choking hazard.
And my daughter's smart and she wouldn't do that.
You've been teaching her to play Palladium games. That's why she.
I have. I've started her on Palladium's Rifts and Ninjas and Super Spies.
Sure.
Love anything with
classic.
Rolls mega dice.
Yeah, and eventually she'll upgrade to games where the rules actually work. No shade. Try playing a Palladium game. No, I mean
rough.
I'm Palladium.
Well, no, I mean the rules just don't really make sense or work. Guys, should we play some old school BX Dungeons and Dragons?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Then welcome ye to the far seas. We are here on the at the fort on the far seas. You traveled many weeks in a galleon out to this isle in the far reaches, the far eastern reaches of the world. A place called the Isle of the Sword because it's shaped a little like a sword. And there on the Isle of the Sword, on its western coast, there it is. And one day we're going to fill it all in with locations we've found and fun things like that. But right now it is a virgin land. Your people from the west have barely cracked the shell of this new virgin land. It's said to be an ancient land. It's said that in times of your people, the elves, the humans, the halflings, that they were created by the gods here in these isles out on the far seas. And finally, after 1,000 years, 2,000 years, your people are returning to explore them. And the first outpost here on the Isle of the Sword is the fort on the far seas. And so you find yourselves, the three of you, in the unnamed tavern near the Travelers' Rest Inn here in the fort on the far seas. And I can tell you all about the amenities of the fort. We saw some of them last time. But the main features that might interest you are, of course, the Travelers' Rest Inn that is attached right to this unnamed tavern. You've also seen collective stables to keep mounts should you ever be able to afford one. There are many different apartments that belong to permanent residences of this colony far out in the ocean. Merchants and jewel brokers and people who are hoping to reap the resources of this far off land and send their wares back west. And you know that there is also a castellan here and a great keep on the northern side of the fort where you are not allowed in because you are still probationary members of this community. You have only just arrived. And would you briefly introduce your characters? Let's start with Clinton Trucks.
Sure. My character's name is Cinder. He's an old, gruff man, big, bushy eyebrows, and bald. The baldness is slightly disturbing because he has a giant dent in his head in the shape of the face of a warhammer that stove in half of his head a few months ago, maybe say 3 or 4 months ago. And he has been living in the sort of temple, healing up all that time. And he's back on his feet. They've kicked him out. He's strapped armor on over the sort of rough spun clothing that the temple makes you wear when you live in there healing up. And he looks like a mental patient who's strapped armor and weapons on.
Well, then I will say he has created a relationship with the curate during his time there. The curate being sort of the head priest at the temple. The temple is on the north side of the fort, right butting up against the walls of the main keep, where the Castellan and the rulers of this colony dwell. And so he is friends with that curate. He probably owes the curate a favor, just FYI, since. I mean, was he spending a lot to get healed up? I bet he doesn't have a lot of coin on him, does he?
So he actually was part of a sellsword company that attempted to take the caves of chaos and failed, and his body was dragged back. His friends waited for him to heal up and wake up, but he never did. So they just left a few coin behind with the curate, and then they have since sailed away, and he's been left behind.
Yes, and perhaps they have sailed on. They've sailed on perhaps to the Isle of the Gods or the Isle of Blood, the isles east of here. But for now, our friend CYNEDYR, spelled the Welsh way, is here in the tavern, perhaps drinking his last coin and wondering about his next move. And he is talking to an elf. Who is our elven friend, Adam Conover?
I am High Prince Fffilbrth. Don't try to pronounce it. You could not. It's Elvish. Don't even try. He is the son of a great elvish lord, but in this elvish community, they have kind of a Rumspringa tradition where when he becomes of age, he goes among the short-lived folks to adventure and bring renown to his name and perhaps find some elder knowledge to bring back or whatnot. And yeah, that's his deal. He's got a couple big spears and a longbow, and also a 50-foot rope, a tinderbox, and 2 things of wine.
That's a lot of useful stuff, and he certainly could perhaps find some elder knowledge here on the Isle of the Sword. Although this is not the isle where the people, the elves, the dwarves, the halflings, and the humans were said to have been created. This is where some of the first tribes, the Danudae, are said to still dwell out in the forests of this temperate isle that is often enshrouded in mist. Finally, who is the halfling among your company? Who sits at the table with you and breaks bread with you? Who is this halfling?
That is Hannibal Hotwater of the Hotwater Halflings. He is... surprise, surprise, a halfling, but he has these rippling muscles, like these great pectorals and biceps and triceps, and
good delts.
Yeah, good delts as well. His gluteus is bared right now because he barely escaped the tiger last time that we saw Hannibal and Chickpea and Barry the elf. Rest in peace to him. But now he's made his way back to the taverns, the inn here, and is just trying to find his fortune out there in the caves of chaos, hopefully. And also bring honor to Enkidu.
Enkidu, yes, the god that is the... Clint has informed me that actually Enkidu was a demigod, a wild man that dwelled in the forests outside of Babylon. And fair enough, Clint, but for whatever reason, our friend Hannibal Hotwater and the temple here pay homage to Enkidu. It is a temple of Enkidu, like you might have a temple to a saint here, because we are using deity and demigods, and that's what someone from the chat suggested last time. Actually, let me get the chat up. And I want to tell you what happened with that tiger, too, Hannibal Hotwater. I want to tell you what happened, buddy. Let's see.
I'm going to die at the beginning.
Yeah, all right. We're going to kill Hannibal in a prelude.
I'm going to kill Hannibal with just a roll right now, actually.
Oh,
I'm the dungeon master. I'm the referee. I'm allowed to do it. Okay, I have good news, my friend Hannibal. What happened actually last time was that it failed its morale check when it encountered you and Chickpea. And like many animals of the forest, it didn't. It's not actually roving about looking to eat you immediately, and so it ran off into the forest. You've lost track of Chickpea. She's perhaps somewhere here in the fort or has gone off exploring somewhere else. But you have met these brave adventurers, and all 3 of you are determined to turn this virgin land into a place where the people of the West can settle, or perhaps you are more interested in the gold that can be earned by slaying the monsters here, by discovering its ancient mysteries. And so tell me what you would like to do on this fine day.
And is this the top of the day? Are we just a lot of daylight left?
Well, let's see. I said you were in the tavern drinking. So, yeah, you started early. You're getting food. Crusts of bread. In fact, everybody, could you please spend like some silver on that?
What's the exchange rate? I forget.
I've got it right here.
Refresh me.
One really cool thing about Old School Essentials is that it puts all the really important tables like right inside the inside cover, so you can always find stuff quickly. And a gold piece, which I know you have your things in, one gold piece is worth, 10 silver.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to convert this to silver pieces.
I spent most of my money on equipment, so I'm nursing a small beer and picking at a standard ration from my pack instead of ordering food.
Oh boy! Well, you better be careful. They're going to tell you no outside food. But you know what? Let's focus on the adventure and not the rules of this eating establishment.
Fffilbrth asks if they have any fairy wine.
Fairy wine. The bartender that's on duty right now looks at you and goes, "Fairy wine."
Yeah, it's transparent and practically weightless, and it glistens in the morning sun.
I can ask.
Would you? That would be
It looks
all
like
right.
baby oil when you drink it.
He goes back into the back, and then he's gone for so long. You're like, I think he just left.
Well played, Your Highness. While he's back there searching fruitlessly for a thing that clearly doesn't exist, perhaps yourself and Master Halfling and I can sally forth to take the caves. I've lost something there, and I mean to get it back.
I gotta finish my breadsticks first, and then we'll head on out. All right.
By breadsticks, he means like very like crusty, bad medieval bread.
Yeah, my teeth are shattering as I'm enjoying this meal.
Well, I think that sounds fine. I'm looking for adventure of literally any type. So anything that you want to do, I will do it gladly.
Well, as the halfling has told us, there's adventure to be found just outside the city. Well, perhaps we'll trot over the body of his fallen friend, one of your brethren.
Sure. Let's go. Let's try it.
Kind of insensitive, Clint, but okay. So if you guys would like to sally forth from the fort, I can tell you what greets your eyes as you come out. We'll say that it's about noon. The sun is high in the sky, and the fort, of course, sits up on a hill with a path, a well-worn path that wagons and many different vehicles move up and down. That leads down to a road. One path goes east and then north, and then the other path goes back to the sea where your ships originally docked. To the south of the road that goes northeast is a river and marshes. Hannibal, that southern river and those marshes are where you cross the river. And your party encountered some lizardmen in a mound there last time. Yeah. To the north of the path that goes northeast is a great forest, a great unplumbed forest, and who knows what's up in that forest. And I can tell you more as you travel. Do you head out?
What are we heading towards again? Sorry.
That's a great question.
Oh, okay.
So, Cinder.
Fffilbrth will specifically ask, so where are we headed again? I'm happy to go anywhere, but where specifically?
Yeah, let's not head to the marsh. So I think we're heading anywhere other than there. Cinder, where do you need to aid your mission?
Jared, is it fair to say that if I sweep all of our flagons and plates aside, a map of the region has been carved into the table of this tavern?
Are you going to show a map, Clint?
No, I'm asking you. This is an in-world question.
You're asking me if there's a map carved into the table?
Wouldn't it be cool if there was? And if I wasn't on the stream, wouldn't I write that as a note to you? Hey, let's put a map on the table.
You want to be God and be a mortal man at the same time.
Wait, Clint. No, there's. You know what? This is going to be controversial, but no, there's no map carved into the table here. No, I have to express my GM fiat on this one. There's absolutely no map.
Then Cinder takes a bunch of the dry breadsticks and crusty bits, turns them into a fine powder, and begins to create a map on the table of the regions surrounding the town.
This is allowed.
And I'll say, it's not far from here, but dangerous travels, as the Master Halfling learned. But the caves are what we seek. Something important's there, and I mean to get it back.
What's in the caves? Sounds great.
I don't remember, and then I will rub the flat part of my head.
Oh, okay.
It seems important.
What's your charisma, Fffilbrth?
Fffilbrth's charisma is 13.
13. That's a good charisma. That's at least +1, right?
Yeah, and I also get +1 to the number of retainers I can have. Oh, should I have a retainer right now already?
You gotta buy them.
You gotta buy them. Fffilbrth, you suddenly are like, what are these caves? And then suddenly that bartender pops back up and he's like, the caves. You do well to stay away unless you know your way around those weapons, young lads. Why, the caves. The caves are filled with all manner of the gods' experiments, what they abandoned before they made humans, and elves and halflings and dwarfs. The caves are very dangerous, and every single entrance into their depths is horribly trapped.
Oh. Well, that sounds.
And that's a rumor you got off the rumor table because you've got a +1 charisma.
Well,
There's a rumor table.
Fffilbrth, what is this rumor table that this guy's talking about?
That's out of world. Halfling. Try to differentiate from when I'm in world and out of world, would you?
It's the same accent for both.
I should change my voice when I'm not talking about something my character would know, but I'm incapable of moving quickly between personas.
Oh boy. All right. Cool. Well, hey, a mysterious cave. That sounds right up Fffilbrth's alley.
And Hannibal will be there as well with the Hotwater hammer.
And I'd like to suggest we travel by day so that we maintain our torches and lantern oil for the cave itself.
Sounds great. Oh, I forgot to get a torch. We're going in a cave.
You have infravision.
I have infravision.
You have 60 feet of infravision.
In that case, no one should bring a torch because that messes up my infravision.
Will you just describe everything you see to us in such detail?
Wait, does it mess up your infravision?
I'm not sure. That I thought I remember.
Let's see. In this rule set, I don't know that it definitely does. Let me look at your infravision here.
I thought infravision only worked in the dark, and I'm not sure where I got that idea. I think I read it in an AD&D manual when I was 10 years old.
Well,
I seem to recall that as well, but it's not from this edition of D&D that I know it. And also the Predator movies.
Characters who have infravision can see the heat energy that radiates off living things. Generally, living things will be visible as bright tones, while cool items are gray and very cold. And very cold objects are black. It does not say that a torch will hurt your infravision. It does, however, make a note that I will make to the players. Light will ruin your ability to surprise people sometimes. So a lit torch makes it
So Jared, I want to be clear. I can get around. I can find my way around a dark cave with the infravision. It's not just like I could see walls and floors and objects to some degree, right?
That's right. You can find your way around a dark cave. Things that are living will be brighter, but yes, you could.
Great. Okay, then no torch for me.
Well, are we provisioned? Are we ready to go?
I mean, if there's traps, should we bring a 10-foot long pole?
If only someone had one.
Well, can we buy a 10-foot long pole?
I think Chickpea took it last time.
I was going to say, who took the pole last time?
Clint just explained to me the heritage of the 10-foot long pole today when we were creating a character, and I love it.
I'll tell you what. You might be able to just cut some wood into a 10-foot long pole if you leave. But yeah,
this town has a vendor, right? Definitely a guy who only sells poles.
Just a pole vendor. Yeah.
I mean,
actually, that's too good to pass up. That's happening now. Poles, poles for sale. When you walk out of the tavern, long poles, short poles, poles as big as your head.
Hi there. Yes, I would like one large long pole, please.
How many feet, young halfling?
About 10 foot or so. Is that good, guys?
One 10-foot pole coming right up. And
Wow,
then he goes into this big bundle of poles of all different lengths, and he's like clattering around in there for a long time. And then he finally pulls the pole out, and he tells you that it's going to cost you. Good Lord, how much?
One gold in the book, Jared.
Well, then one gold, young halfling.
Except that Cinder, like a dad buying a teenager his first car, examines the pole as though there's something to learn about to make sure we're getting a good one.
Well, sir, I challenge ye to find a flaw in that pole. My poles are whittled by my own hand.
I'll turn it in my hand and move down the length of it, looking for cracks and flaws.
And just like we're playing old school D&D, I have to make this joke. Well, you'd rarely see me of a night not playing with one of my poles.
Perfect.
Oh, all right. Well, you said 1 gold, right?
1 gold, please.
Okay, Cinder, can I borrow 1 gold?
I'll buy it if you carry it.
I reach in my pocket and pull out my 2 gold and look at both of them and look at you.
I got 7 gold. It's okay. And I hand
7 gold.
The 1 gold for the pole.
All right. And you should know that you see that there is a TG like carved into the pole, like very beautifully with like calligraphy. And he goes, "The name's Traven Gorn. Tell them that I make the best poles this side of the Great Reach." And I'm writing down the name of the pole vendor so that he can appear every time.
Fantastic.
All right. I mean, let's go.
Very good. You head out and down the hill, down the slope, down the well-worn track to the Wilderness Road. And Cinder can tell you that this road should lead all the way to the Caves of Chaos. And so as you head out along the road, you see to your left, to the north, is the Great Forest. And as you walk, after you've walked, a mile and a half, 2 miles or so, the river gets up very close, and you can hear it burbling and feel the cool air coming off the river. And you see that this is truly a green and pleasant land, a great place to cut down all the trees and hopefully kill all the inconvenient species that are making it tough for your people to live here and make lots of money.
This is where I'm going to build my stronghold once I reach level 9.
Exactly. Yes, right here by this beautiful river. You pass sort of a hill on your right as the road starts to curve northward. It was going eastward, but it's curving northward. And I am just going to do a little bit of looking at my wilderness adventure rules. First, party decides course of travel, following the road. Losing direction, not not very likely because you are following a road. Whether
Mountain Dew
that's
alert, classic Mountain Dew alert.
Not just Mountain Dew. I dug a basement to play this game, and my mom is going to bring me some Totinos later.
Hey.
Yeah. You're never going to go to sleep. We're going to stay up all night playing Final Fantasy 2.
You got it.
Let's go.
all right. Here we go. So I'm just going to check and see if there are any wilderness encounters. Okay, while you're traveling. And first, I'm going to say, okay. So, yeah, you see some hawks flying overhead. You see evidence of animals. Yes, furry things kind of jumping in the bushes. But unlike last time, no tigers kind of make themselves visible. No creatures jump out at you, Hannibal. And soon,
you guys just randomly a tiger was rolling.
Yes, it just like hopped out at the last minute. And
just
I
to
was like,
explain, just to explain the world as much as I can, the Isle of the Sword is like a really cool folder that you got before your first year of 5th grade, and it has tons of tigers that walk around near rainbow waterfalls where there's like snow and mist. So yes, there be tigers here. Okay. So you eventually go northward and you come around the corner of like another great hill, and you arrive at the caves of chaos. And I'm going to read
This was so
to
easy.
you.
How did these guys not make it last time?
It's a friend.
They took a detour. They took a little detour.
How tall is Hannibal?
Hannibal, he's like probably like 3.5 feet.
And he's carrying a 10-foot long pole right now.
Yeah, just like he's like walking.
It's
with-
light.
3 times as long as he is.
It's
I'm
light.
helping.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And he has the muscles though. He has like the big pecs
He's
and the
ripped.
bicep. Yeah,
he's
for sure.
dropping it a lot. I mean, the forest you have been passing through has been getting more dense, tangled, and gloomier than before. The thick, twisted tree trunks, unnaturally misshapen limbs, writhing roots, clutching and grasping thorns and briars, all seem to warn and ward you off, but you have forced and hacked your way through regardless. Now the strange growth has suddenly ended. You have stepped out of the thicket into a ravine-like area. The walls rise rather steeply to either side to a height of about 100 feet or so. Dark, streaked rock mingled with earth. Clumps of trees grow here and there, both on the floor of the ravine and up the sloping walls of the canyon. The opening you stand in is about 200 feet wide. The ravine runs at least 400 feet west. This is for people who can immediately gauge footage by looking at it. It actually says the ravine runs at least 400 feet west, actually 440 feet, to where boy, Gary Gygax, you loved some footage. That's a man with Gygax wrote this baby, to where the western end rises in a steep slope. Here and there at varying heights on all sides of the ravine, you can see the black mouths of cave-like openings in the rock walls. The sunlight is dim. The air is dank. There is an oppressive feeling here, as if something evil is watching and waiting to pounce on you. There are bare, dead trees here and there, and upon one a vulture perches and gazes hungrily at you. A flock of ravens is also there, apparently, and they rise croaking from the ground, the beat of their wings and their cries magnified by the terrain to sound loud and horrible. Caw, 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 caw. Amongst the litter of rubble.
Ravens in the real world.
Can you believe that people read this out loud before playing a fucking role-playing game? Amongst the litter of rubble, boulders, and dead wood scattered about on the ravine floor, you can see bits of gleaming ivory and white. Closer inspection reveals that these are bones and skulls of men, animals, and other things. You know that you have certainly discovered the caves of chaos. Clinton Trucks, I made a little mock-up of the canyon. Do we have that?
Yep.
so that people can look at it without spoilers and kind of decide where they'd like to go. Guys, this is my crude artwork, but I have done it to please you. Please be pleased by it.
Yes, Father.
Father wants you to be pleased. There we go. So imagine yourselves on the far right side here, or what we'd say the southern end of the canyon, and you can see where the cave mouths are, and you can go and explore any one that you'd like, and you could also look in the tufts of greenery that you see there. Let me know what you'd like to do.
Levels of elevation that are being
they are indeed, sir. So for example, if you moved from the yellowish brownish floor of the canyon up to the cave mouth, that is the first one if you were moving right to left, but it's in kind of a slightly greener area, then you'd move up one level of elevation. You'd have to climb a little bit up the slope to get to it.
Being an elf, I'll explore the tufts of greenery.
Very good.
Use the
Habitat in the forest.
That makes a good. That's a good idea.
Don't just stick your hands in the greenery. Use the pole, man.
Yeah, we got the pole here.
Okay.
There you go.
I borrow the pole and I poke around in the greenery with the pole.
Okay, so the first tuft of greenery there that you see is a clump of like it said gnarled trees. They do have some leaves on them, but they're kind of twisted and stunted, and they have a lot of shrubbery and bushes around them. And when you approach those, you tell me exactly what you're doing.
I'll just stay about 10 feet away and I'll just peer in them.
Okay, peering into them, you see that this first tuft, if you could bring it up again, Clinton Trooks, let me see it.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, my friend. This is important. We got to use the map here, baby. Okay. Yeah, so that first one that's kind of like hanging out in the middle of the canyon floor, there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there, really. Except, let me actually roll on a table to make sure.
Oh,
it's a tiger.
Oh, wow. Well, now, you actually find kind of like it looks like a necklace or like a bracelet that might have been worn by a warrior, because it's not very, it's not very ornate. It's more like, something that someone who, like, you're a member of the war band now. You get to wear this chunky bracelet made of wooden beads.
From Claire's.
Yes, exactly. So that's what you find kind of hanging off of one of the shrubs there.
got it. I take it.
Great.
Cinder's immediate concern, despite having been knocked insensible by a warhammer at some point, his old veteran skills occasionally remind him that we are in a position where there are a bunch of cave mouths above us, and anyone popping out has us at a serious disadvantage. So perhaps rather than exploring the dusty ground, we find some elevation. That's where all the cave mouths are, right?
Sure thing. I hand back the 10-foot pole, by the way. I don't need it anymore.
Thanks. I take it. It towers over me.
Well, Cinder, we're going to go in turn order, and there was turn order when you were exploring back in the day. So our friend Fffilbrth's 10-minute turn took him to that clump of trees, and it had him kind of dig around in it until he found what looks like a warrior's bracelet. Is it now
improve my AC if I put it on?
It is not going to improve your AC if you put it on, but it might be worth a little money back at the fort. But now, what is your 10-minute turn that you'd like to take, my friend?
So this is a cave mouth that is closest to us, correct? Right here?
That is correct.
I will examine the area around that cave mouth, give it a little smell, see if there's anything to be discerned from the outside.
Great. I love that. Okay. You walk over to it. You sort of smell around it. You're kind of like sniffing around it, and you smell foul things. It smells. You can't quite place the scent, but it's nothing good. For some reason, it reminds you of the ship you took over here. The holes. It's dank, and it looks pretty deep.
How wide is this mouth?
Oh boy! Now we're getting real granular, aren't we?
Well, I'm just saying, if I'm going to leave a cave mouth behind me, I just need to know how many people. Is an army going to come out behind me, or just 3 guys? I'm trying to figure out how in danger we are.
It's not very wide or large at all. It's little more than a cleft in the rock. A 6-foot man, a human man, could kind of go inside without having to get on his knees, but he'd have to kind of duck down.
Well, then I will use the last bit of my turn by going into that foliage and taking out some brush and sticks and putting them at the cave mouth. So hopefully if anybody comes out, we will hear them as we delve deeper into this cavern.
The foliage that our friend has already explored?
Yeah, all I'm looking
That'll
for
be
is
on your next turn, sir, if nothing changes. I think going and exploring this little spot was enough for you. And Hannibal Hotwater, what would you like to look at?
Cool. So has the foliage right next to the cave mouth been explored? Is that the one that was kind of...
Yeah. No. It was the one that was kind of sitting out there in the middle. Gotcha. Would you like to explore the one beside the cave mouth that our friend CYNEDYR looked at?
Yeah. So since I have the pole, I'm going to also kind of poke around in there and see if it's occupied, because if not, it also might be a place where I can use my halfling hiding abilities if I need to.
Oh, you're going to poke around inside it with the 10-foot pole. Okay.
Just trying to scout out a place.
Yeah. So you, my friend Hannibal, you kind of like poke around inside of this foliage and you push it apart, and you see that there's a very large cave here that was hidden by this greenery. And it is quite tall, much larger than the little hole that our friend CYNEDYR was kind of peering into. This might be a cleft in the rock that raises up almost 12 feet high. And I am going to check for something.
While you do so, was this greenery placed there to hide this opening in the rock, or did it just happen to be growing there?
I can't tell you either way, CYNEDYR, because you're not over there. But suffice to say that it did hide it effectively. And so as you are kind of, poking around with your 10-foot pole, suddenly, CYNEDYR, you hear like a from within.
Which foliage is this?
Could you point to it, my friend Clinton Trucks? There it is,
that
right
one.
there.
The one to the top right is the one I poked in.
Right, exactly. And my friend Hannibal, you now hear like heavy footsteps kind of like coming toward the mouth of this newly discovered cave that you found. And so that is how your turn ends. A new turn. Combat has not begun yet, but something appears to be coming out of that foliage soon.
Okay. Sorry, is it my turn?
It is.
Fffilbrth takes high ground and we'll say up above this hole and readies his bow.
Very good. Fffilbrth, I think I'm gonna allow you to do that because you are sure-footed in the forest, and there's no reason why you couldn't kind of just hop up there and aim your bow. Okay, great. CYNEDYR, what are you going to do?
I will fall back to the other foliage in there and draw my own short bow, waiting to see what comes out of this hole.
Very good. And Hannibal Hotwater, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm going to team up with CYNEDYR for that same clear foliage that's there and hide with the hiding, yes.
And so in greenery, you have a 90% hide skill. Could you roll a percentile dice? Use your Call of Cthulhu skills, London. Roll.
Can do. Boom. All right, we got a 35.
So you don't even see him there, Cinder. Hannibal gets down into the leaves and the greenery over there, and he's all but indistinguishable from the trees. And that is when a creature comes out of the trees here on the south end toward the east side there, or the right side. It is 10 feet tall. It has an enormous, hanging belly, and big, bouncing teats. Its face has an enormous hanging jaw with big, tusk-like teeth hanging off of it. And there's something cattle-like about it. Or what do you call it? What's the sea mammals that kind of float in the water? Something manatee-like about it. Yeah, it has this bristly hair going over the top of its head and down its big lumpy back. And it's truly huge, and its footsteps bring up the dust. And as you all look upon it, you realize that it must have 5 to 10 inches of just blubber covering its hide. It stomps out. Oh, it's carrying a big bone club with big, it looks like saber-toothed tiger teeth hanging off of it. And it's just kind of wandering around now on the floor of the canyon, kind of looking for whatever was disturbing its the trees outside of its cave.
If it doesn't see us, let's not engage, I'm going to say.
Let's see if it sees you.
What is it? Can you tell us what it is?
I'm telling you what it is. It's an enormous blubber-covered 10-foot tall humanoid with huge tusks and a bone club and rags covering its nether regions.
Maybe it's one of the Gamoran guards of the pleasure barge.
That's what I was about to say. That yeah, I was like, it's a Gamoran guard.
It doesn't appear to see you, and it kind of shuffles around, kind of sniffing at things, looking mainly at the leaves that are outside of its own cave, and then it decides to cross. It decides to cross the canyon, and you know what it does? It starts climbing up to the cave that's nearest to the entrance to the canyon, but on the second level there, on the right side. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it climbs up and it goes in there.
Great. Okay, we let it go.
Yeah, once it's done so, let's go into that cavern that it came out of.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess the other holes are probably trapped with something else, so hopefully that one is clear.
Right.
Although hopefully not trapped since he just came out of it, right?
Yeah, let's stick a 10-foot pole in there, maybe.
Again, it's the smell of manure, the smell of cattle, but something's rotten about it when you kind of peer into the cave. It is dark in there, and at about 25 feet back is how far it goes. Are we lighting a light source?
I have a lantern and lantern oil.
Maybe before we light anything, we send Fffilbrth in. Make sure there's nothing alive in there.
Yeah. I'll head in there with some infravision.
Your 60 feet of infravision easily covers this cave. There is a large cave that goes about 25 to 30 feet back. It looks like it's just enough area for maybe this guy to sit in, and you can see a spot where maybe he does his business. There's a big pie that's surrounded by flies and things like that. And your keen infravision also highlights to your left a passage that kind of opens to another cavern to the left.
Does the passage, is it big enough? Can the creature fit into it, or is it too small?
The creature could fit into that passage.
Okay. Well,
The effect for a modern person like you, Adam, is to like you are standing in the living room of this thing and you realize that it has a bedroom or another side room to its little domain here.
I poked my head in just to see if that is a dead end or if it goes further.
There's a big leather sack on the ground.
That's it?
It's an enormous leather sack on the ground. It goes another like 35 feet back, this cavern. It's sort of V or heart shaped with like the wide end toward the back from where you're standing, like the thin end being. And the only thing in it is a big old leather sack and maybe a couple dry bones in the corners.
Okay, I grab the leather sack and I skedaddle and I say to those guys, let's get further away from this hole. Let's go somewhere else.
I've seen the movie Audition too many times. When I hear leather sack, I imagine it like moving. So is he able to pick it up without any issue?
It is quite heavy. Why don't you try to roll under your strength, Fffilbrth?
Okay, with what, D6s?
A D20, sir.
Oh, D20, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Roll under. I succeed.
Okay, then you are able to drag it. And Fffilbrth, you soon have dragged this huge leather sack out into the light.
Probably should have looked in it, but let's look in it now.
Yes, when you look inside of it, you see hundreds of silver pieces, a big chunk of hard cheese, hundreds of copper pieces and electrum pieces, hundreds of gold pieces.
Hell yeah.
A keg of brandy.
Wow.
Hundreds of copper pieces.
That one's mine. I'll take it.
And so that's what happened there. And now I'm going to,
at the risk of being boring, let's go home.
So yeah, we take all the gold. We take all the gold and silver.
Mm-hmm.
And electrum. Electrum is good too, right? What the fuck is electrum? I only know about from D&D. It's like under silver, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Is copper in there as well?
There's copper. There's every type of piece is represented in here.
Okay, so we take them.
But this is, am I wrong in saying this is very heavy?
Well, we're not taking the keg of brandy. That's got
but even the
coins,
money, right? Like hundreds of coins. It's all metal, right?
Yeah,
it's very heavy. It was hard for Fffilbrth to drag it out, so I would probably roll on wilderness encounters more often, like instead of once for the day, like twice for the day as you travel back with it. Yes.
Well, I'm inclined to take this back to town. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Experience points are based off of gold in this. Is that right?
That's correct.
That's a lot.
Okay, then I suggest that yes, we do that. I don't want to go into the cave with all of our gold.
Yeah, lose it.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Very good. As you are exiting the camp, are you guys doing this? Are you leaving?
Yeah, we fill up my backpack with. This
is how this game should be played, actually. So you fill up your backpacks with this stuff. Do you all have backpacks?
I have a backpack, a large sack, and a small sack.
Oh, then you can definitely divide it up so it's not just like one big heavy thing. But I have to roll, and so let's see. And that takes time. That takes time.
I put the sack back in the hole after we take the money out.
Oh, you put the sack back in the hole. Okay, so that all takes time, which means I get to roll on the wandering monster table. And what I want to tell you is that while you were kind of like, dividing it all up, taking the sack back in the hole. In fact, while Fffilbrth is inside the hole, and the other 2 are outside. And you've divided all the coinage up. You're not bringing the flagon of brandy or the dried cheese or anything like that. Is that correct?
No,
I bet that brandy's worth a ton of money. Why wouldn't we?
I grab the. It's a
All right. While you're arguing about all of this, while you're arguing about all of this,
yeah, never mind.
yeah. While you're arguing about all of this, you actually, let's see here. I have to check something else.
I'm rolling a wandering monster on you. Your daughter walks into the room and wants to know where Daddy is.
Yeah. This is great. I just rolled surprise. So you guys are arguing about the coinage and whether you're taking the flagon of brandy and all of this stuff. And that is when you don't see that 2 creatures have crept down out of that cave the ogre went into and climbed down the slope and come up behind you, and they get a surprise round.
No.
And so I'm not going to describe them until you are very clear on, exactly what they have done to you. Let me give you. I'm gonna rule that our friend Fffilbrth is inside the cave currently, and that our other friends are outside the cave, standing directly outside of it. That's where they were dividing up the gold. And so let me just find our little combat section and make sure that I do it correctly. Okay, declare spells and retreats. Do you guys want to? Well, you can't. It's a surprise round, so you can't retreat. We don't do initiative yet. Okay, we're going to attack first. So, because these things are going to attack immediately. Oh boy. They hung out a while, and then this happened. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, that's too bad. One of them misses you, even though he got a free round.
That's not too bad.
That's too good.
And that one, what's your AC, Hannibal?
AC is 4.
Well, he's not going to hit you either. So both of them toss spears at you, and the spears go boing, boing, like right near your feet, but do not hit you. And you turn around and you're looking at 2 like hog-faced things with who are like green-skinned, wearing chainmail and carrying weaponry. And after they've thrown their spears, they pull axes off of their belts, and they're running toward you. And now that the surprise round is over, we can roll initiative, meaning your side rolls a d6 and I roll a d6, and we see who gets higher.
Who wants to roll for us?
I'll take it.
Okay.
3.
They got a 6. So believe it or not, they get to attack again. One moves in and attacks our friend CYNEDYR. That time he rolled an 11, and 11 will hit CYNEDYR if he has an AC of 9.
I have an AC of 6.
Well, that's not going to do it. The next one attacks Hannibal with his axe, and he rolls terribly. So he misses you, Hannibal. He bashes against you, but doesn't his axe doesn't gain purchase. And now it's your turn. And I will say, my friend Fffilbrth, you can hear the sounds of combat happening outside. And so you all may go in the order you wish.
Oh, because I'm outside the thing.
You're inside the thing. You're inside the cave.
Yeah. Okay. I run out and I cast sleep on them.
Very good. Let's see. Let's see how that works. I think it just works. Spell. That's a good spell to have.
It works on a total of 2d8 hit dice of creatures of 4 hit dice or lower each.
Okay. That makes sense. Go ahead and give me that roll.
Okay, sorry, I just got to grab a D8 here from my bag of 100 dice. I actually need two D8s. I want to roll them simultaneously. I hate rolling. Don't you hate when you roll it and then you got to roll it again and add it? Isn't it so much more fun when you roll simultaneously, even though it takes a long time to okay, fuck it. I'll just Oh, there it is. Okay,
it's like a bag of candy you got there.
2d8.
It's true. I always pull 1d8 when I'm getting ready to play. I never pull 2d8.
This is D&D. You need 2d8. I got
You do.
7.
7. So I'm gonna rule that one of them immediately like flops to the ground, like, but the other one like looks at his companion and is like, and is still charging at you. But CYNEDYR and Hannibal still have actions this round.
I wander over to the one that flopped, and while looking at the one that's still up, just slay the sleeping one.
Oh wow!
This is in the description of the sleep spell. It says creatures enchanted by this spell are helpless and can be killed instantly with a bladed weapon.
Well, I have to roll on his morale now. He succeeded at his morale check, believe it or not, and so he is still coming. And so Hannibal, it is your go.
Cool. So is the one that's up? Are they charging at Fliffy?
No, I think they're charging at CYNEDYR. They're charging at CYNEDYR.
It's okay. It's in Elvish, all right? Your halfling tongue can't
don't
form
work.
the sounds of the high elf speech.
Indeed.
The language was forged before your race was a glint in the eye of the creator.
It's like being in France. Even if you speak it, they don't want you to try. It hurts them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So am I able to get to melee range of that one that's coming at CYNEDYR?
Yeah.
Run up. Cool. Warhammer is going to be swinging at them. And this is a D20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. 14 plus the 1, 15.
Woo! That hits, baby.
All right.
That
Damage.
for sure hits.
3 damage as I'm coming in with it.
3 damage. Okay, this guy has 1 HP left, I'll just tell you. So I'm gonna roll that he like falls to his knees from CYNEDYR's from Hannibal's smash with the warhammer, and he's like, that is everybody's go. So it's his go, and he's gonna roll morale again because he's not doing so well. He miraculously gets his morale check again, and he attempts to attack our friend Hannibal.
You can try.
He rolls a terrible 6, so he misses Hannibal, probably because he's like clutching his innards from where you smashed him with that warhammer. And now it's your team's go.
Cool. Can I try to finish him off?
Yeah, he's yours.
All right, cool.
Go for it.
So with the warhammer again, I rolled a 19 plus the 1, 20.
That's a hit. Roll your damage, my friend. You could have hit something with armor class 0. This guy has a 6, so you hit him. You hit him squarely in the face.
His roll was necessary to hit armor class 0.
That's right.
I love it.
So I rolled a 3 plus 1, and I have the warhammer barely in one hand, the pole in the other, and I'm just like, feel the power of the pole, and I come in with the
you smack him with the pole a couple times too. He falls. Disgusting purple blood sprays from his mouth and trickles out of his head as he lay there fallen. You may search the body, and he is down. You guys have succeeded in your first combat. Congratulations.
Undefeated. I will search the bodies.
Very good. Searching the body. I'm going to tell you that. Let's see. What treasure does it carry? It should carry something. Well, there are spears. There are 2 spears on the ground. There are 2 hand axes that you can take.
What's the quality of those hand axes or spears? Garbage, right?
They're not great. I mean, they're solid. They're decent.
Is it a D6?
The hand axes, I could look.
I'm sure they are.
Most weapons are a D6 in this game, but let's see. Hand axe is a D6, yeah, and the spears are a D6 as well. The spears, of course, can brace and be used as missiles. You can throw them.
There's extra spears?
Yes, there are spears on the ground. Yes.
Can I have? I already have 2 spears. I feel like I'm the spear guy. Can I have the spears?
Go for
Someone
it.
else wants spears too?
No,
All yours.
How many spears?
2.
I'm up to 4 spears, baby.
We're a very pull heavy group.
Yeah.
Among them, they carry 6 gold.
All right.
That's pretty good. I got a lot of gold. So, and I also have a lot back home because I'm wealthy. And so you guys can have the gold in this case. Well, actually, never mind. We're
splitting it all.
This up when we get back.
Yeah.
We have so much gold. Never mind. I take it back.
Exactly. We're racing the sun now. Let's try and get back to town.
Let's go home.
Right.
Okay. So as you are going home, would someone like to try? Would everybody please try to roll under wisdom for me?
Sure.
Yeah. Fail.
Succeed. Well, I rolled exactly my wisdom. How's that?
That counts.
Fail.
Okay, so only Cinder. As you guys are exiting the canyon, you think you see for a moment a black-robed figure moving into the canyon along the north ridge.
Close enough to be in earshot?
Pretty far. That's why I'm only describing the person or the thing as a black-robed figure. You can't get a clear look at it.
Then I will just say in a normal conversational voice, but without my body language betraying what I'm saying, we're being watched over my left shoulder, figure on the lower level. Well, I'll describe where I saw the movement.
It doesn't actually look like he's watching you, but Cinder is a bit of a paranoid fellow. It looks like he's just moving into the canyon as you were moving out of it, and you guys didn't end up bumping into one another.
How many feet away?
Many hundreds of feet away, not within easy earshot.
Okay, yeah, but my longbow has a range of 200 feet. You guys want me to take a shot at this figure?
Nah, if he's not bothering us, let's move on.
Great. Are you heading back to town?
Put my arrow back, sadly.
I say yes.
Yeah, we had
heading back to town. Okay.
Yeah.
To the bank.
Okay. Heading back to town. Once again, you are unmolested by any strange monsters or creatures as you travel, and soon you find yourself climbing up a hill to the fort on the far seas once again. And I can tell you exactly how many gold, electrum, copper, etc. were in that leather pouch you found.
Well, while you look it up, I will go to my friend, the curate, and ask if the temple might be willing to act as our bank while we clear the caverns.
Very good. You go and you find that only novice Selwyn is there. Novice Selwyn. And he says, act as your bank. Well, why not use the bank here in the fort?
I did not know there was such a thing.
Oh, certainly, my friend. There is a bank here within the fort. They do charge a little bit of interest, but they could keep your earnings more secure than we can here.
I will take this information back to the princeling and the halfling.
Princeling.
I thought the princeling was like
Hi, Prince Fffilbrth.
I thought that was a couple name. I was like,
Fffilbrth.
Yeah, let's go to the bank.
Okay. The bank is, let's see, it's here at 11. So the bank, I can describe where it's at.
Would you like the map up, Jared?
Oh, sure. Let's show it. It's at 11. Here is our fort on the far seas. And can you make it a little bigger? Maybe we can see that 11.
I can. We're heading to 11, you say?
Yeah, it's right down there. Yeah.
Love that.
okay.
And the 13 up there in the corner there is like a fountain. And that's where it's the fountain square. And that's where the Traveler's Rest Inn and the tavern are. But down here, just catty corner to all that, is the loan bank. And as you get there, they are locking it up for the night. But would you like for them to one of the money changers there says, have you brought us a considerable amount, lad?
Well, we'll need to open an account.
Yes.
Lots.
Come in then. And he unlocks the bank and he starts heading in, and the sun started going down, but you've arrived back in the fort on the far seas before the horrible things that happen at night out on the Isle among the wild monsters has occurred. And so you are here, and I will now tell you exactly how much you have earned, friends. So here we go. 287 silver pieces, 182 copper pieces, 91 electrum pieces, and I just have to do a little math. Can you believe I have to do math here, everybody?
That's what it was to be a role player in the 80s.
303 copper pieces, and this is the last little bit of math I have to do.
An additional 303 to the 182?
Oh, yeah, 303 more copper pieces, and then 530 gold pieces.
Hey.
530 gold pieces?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right,
Are we going
guys.
to put this in a single bank account, or are we going to make 3 bank accounts?
Well, I think what we should do is we should form a company where each of us are officers.
Okay, I have an account. Does it get a loan out? I mean, that's good for tax purposes, you know.
Exactly. We don't want the Castilian taking too big a bite.
So do we get experience points?
You certainly do, and you get experience points for all the gold you have earned. So now we are going to do one of the most fun things to do in old school role playing, and convert all of this into gold. So, wow, I can't believe we're doing this, but we actually are. So 287 silver pieces. That's what is that? That's per 10 per
28.7 gold pieces.
28.7 gold pieces.
Should we start at the lowest denomination, like turn our coppers into silver, then our silvers into or coppers into electrum, our electrum into silver, and our silver into gold? So
Clint, you tell me, is that the smart way to do it?
I think so.
Okay.
Right.
Well, good thing that it's not uniform. Here we go. So coppers,
485 copper.
right. So coppers, there is 1 copper and 1 copper piece, 10 copper and 1 silver piece, 50 copper and 1 electrum piece. Yeah.
So let's just start by turning as much of this into.
Let's just all turn it in. Let's turn it all into gold. That's the easiest way to do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So there are in 1 gold piece, there's 100 coppers. So they're basically, yeah. So if you have
4.85 gold. Yeah.
Yeah, 4.85 gold in coppers. Okay. So then for the let's see, the electrum pieces. Electrum pieces, there are 2 gold and 1 electrum piece.
And we have 91 electrums.
Mm-hmm.
So that's higher than the gold?
This is compelling streaming television, everybody.
Accounting.
We need to like make a whole method to share this with people, you know? Like
We've got another 45 and a half gold.
That's good. And then what else did you have? Do you have any other unaccounted for there, my friend? And then there are gold pieces, and then there are silver pieces.
We haven't converted our silver yet.
Which would be 28.7, as our friend Mr. Conover has said. Yeah.
So we are sitting on 530 plus 609 gold.
And that is when the banker goes, "Here now, what do you mean by this?" And he holds up one of the gold pieces and he scrapes it, and you see that it's only a simple copper. And he's like, "Are you trying to pass bad money here?"
what?
No,
Yes, according to the adventure module, some of this
Son of a
gold
fucking bitch. All right.
is fake.
We
How
sit
much,
down on the floor
Jared?
of the bank
No!
and begin to unroll all of our rolled coins
So
and scrape each individual one.
241 of the gold pieces is actually copper pieces.
What?
So-
Son of a bitch.
Ugh.
So 609 minus 241.
Why did you do all the calculation before you figured that out?
Did you
took
just
that
line
long?
up?
It took that long for the banker to figure it out. It's an adventure.
Gygax! Fuck you, Gygax!
Gary Gygax was like, "What'd be fun? Oh, I know. They get to the bank, but then some of it
It's not. I'm pissed. Oh my
What a
god.
fucking asshole. That sucks so much.
Okay.
And see, now I see how it's meant to be enjoyed from the referee's point of view. It's really funny that you guys are like, God damn it.
All right. We've still got 370
Just
gold to put in
disappointing.
the
It's
bank.
not fun. We were all excited to have a high number. Numbers low.
It's killing me. I think it's so funny now.
That's hilarious.
I've come around on it. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, let's we have 370 still and some change. Let's put 350 in the bank and then go eat and drink our fill before we go back out tomorrow. How's that sound?
There's a great suggestion from someone in the chat. We need to just go back and kick that like troll's ass for fooling us.
I want.
Do you have more hit points than I do?
No, I don't.
I want to go to sleep so I can recharge my sleep spell. That's how I recharge my
Exactly.
sleep is by going to sleep.
So 1 silver just to stay in the common room of the Traveler's Inn, 1 gold for your own private room. There are currently 3 private rooms available. You know, we can get into all of the intricacies of ordering at the tavern, but why don't we just say spend a gold and you drank your fill and ate your fill.
Done.
That sounds fine. And so all of our gold we're keeping in the bank. We're going to keep our individual golds on us right now.
Right. And what was your total of gold after that hilarious copper prank, Clint?
We're putting 350 gold into the bank, leaving us with 20 gold to split amongst us. Just
right. So that means you get 350 XP added to your XP total, everybody.
Do we get
or wait, 20 gold to split among you. Sorry. So 370.
Yeah.
370 XP because you get an XP for every gold piece that you bring back.
But not for killing anybody.
You also get it for killing people. So let me go ahead and give you that reward as well. We can go ahead and get that reward as well. You killed 2 orcs. I'm going to tell you sometimes what they are. The hog face things are orcs. In my world, orcs have hog faces.
That's classic, like classic Legend of Zelda moblins.
For sure.
Exactly. 10 XP. 10 XP per orc. So you each get 20 XP from that too. So you each have 390 XP.
Wow, I'm almost a 10th of the way to level 2.
Hey, those orcs also had 6 gold in their pockets, so we should get 6 more XP. 396.
Okay, 396.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Like in 5e, you divide up like the XP. I'm not going to do that. I think that this is such a slow progression level that we'll just say every gold piece is for everybody. Although you have to divide it to spend it, right? Sure. And then every monster is everybody gets it. I don't divide it into 3 because we're also going to have a rotating cast, and that would be a nightmare from hell. So we'll just say, and it's a slow progression anyway. As our friend Fffilbrth just noticed, he's 1. How close are you to level 2?
I'm 1/10 of the way to level 2. I have almost 400 experience points. My next level is at 4,000.
That's why it sucks to me. I go up at 2,000.
Yeah, same here at 2,000.
What?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I thought the elf seemed OP. That's what's up. Is it takes double XP if you're a fucking elf?
That's correct.
Long lives.
Oh, because my lifespan is so long.
You got it, brother.
Oh,
You've already been there, done that, and bought the leaf-covered camouflage
That's
tunic.
brutal.
Guys.
Okay, well, okay, so we got to divide up our 20 gold pieces. I wish we had chosen a number that divided evenly by 3.
Well, how about we don't have to put it in individual pockets. How about we do a little group spending? Like, I would love to get a mule and a cart to take back big stuff we find on our next.
Of course.
Good thinking. Yes.
Of course. Oh, how much is a retainer?
Let's see if first we have to see if all the retainers. First, we have to see if any retainers are available because on their last outing, Hannibal Hotwater, and in fact, Hannibal. People in the tavern are like, "What happened to those young men that went with you out into the wilderness?"
Yeah, Fffilbrth. We got like 5 of them killed last week. We went through 5 retainers. Was it 4 or 5?
It was. I think it was 5. No, it was 4. It was 4.
Yeah. 4 died, and one of them was Ringo Starr, and we got him killed.
Oh my god!
People in the chat were really confused when they came in, and I was going like, "I'll help you. I can use my crossbow." They were like, "What's happening here?" And I don't like it. And also, I don't like it.
The retainers are really cheap.
Yeah, right.
An archer is 5 gold pieces a month.
And buying a mule is 30.
So my ruling is the down payment on them is half of what they need for the month. That's the down payment.
A peasant is 1 gold piece. A peasant can carry like you get like 5 peasants. That's at least a mule worth of stuff to carry.
Yeah.
A cart and a mule is, boy, oh boy, 130 gold. We can just buy a bunch of folks to
literally have an army for a whole month for 130 gold.
What if we just did a Hands Across America of people just lined up between here and town, and when we find stuff, we hand it to somebody, and they hand it to town.
So it sounds like you're all in the marketplace the next morning, and you hear poles for sale, Traven Gorn's perfect poles. Why, you've never seen a pole so handsome. But that's not what you're buying. You are buying. Are you buying a mule and a cart?
Let's start by going to Traven Gorn and saying, "Your pole's done fine work, sir. You stand by your product, and I see why."
The Gorn family carves the finest poles in the known world.
I would also like one of these poles. I had to borrow Hannibal's pole yesterday. I should probably have my own pole.
I shan't be seen traveling without one.
Then each of you hand me but 1 gold piece because we believe in affordability in Gorn Brothers poles. I've slayed over this pole, rubbing it to a nice shine.
Master Gorn, your product is affordable, but I cannot help but the exorbitant prices of carts and mules in this town are troubling.
I know.
We thought ourselves rich until we saw what was being charged.
Snobs, all of them. You do notice that Traven Gorn is very poorly dressed and smells bad. Ugh, snobs. All of them. Do you have any food?
Oh, the hunk of cheese we found in the Ogre cave. I'll give you that.
Well, for that, I'll give you a very special pole.
No, put it away.
No, not that, young halfling, although I enjoy your ribald sense of humor. He bites a big chunk out of his hunk of cheese. No, they say that this pole, and he pulls out a little wooden pole, they say that this pole will open certain locks that the Dunade have left around the island. They have a technology all their own, but this pole, and you can see when you look at it, my friend, Mr. Cinder, that it has like kind of intricate carvings on the end of it. You know, it kind of comes into a point and has like intricate carvings. This is a key of the first men, and I gift it to you for this hunk of cheese.
Cheese well spent.
A tiny pole with carvings on the end, that's a key.
Yeah, I was curious. Well, I wondered if he didn't know the word for key, but he did get around to it.
Is everything a pole to him?
All things are poles.
Okay, so I've purchased a pole. Did we do that with the communal 20 gold pieces?
I think that's fine. Let's do it. I'll keep track of that.
Okay, and I want to find retainers.
Very good. Let's see if any are available. Okay, there is someone available. Let's see what he does.
I love
so. You go into the tavern, and unlike the 4 people that were just lined up waiting for a party last time, it takes them a little time to respawn or what have you. Let me see.
We're just going to depopulate this whole town.
Exactly. Where are you, retainers? Damn you. Oh, here they are. Hired help. Here we go. Okay, and I'll just roll randomly to find out. Oh, great. Here we go. Oh, dear. It bounced right out of the little thing. There's a light footman sitting there. He's holding a spear. He has a shined helmet. And unlike the other people in the tavern, he's standing at attention.
You look like you respect lawful authority. I'm a prince, and I have need of a bodyguard.
Ah, a bodyguard. I think I would serve well in that capacity, sir.
Great. What is your wage that you require? Shouldn't be much because you're clearly a dutiful soldier.
I require 7 gold per month, sir.
Okay, well, it says here in this reference book I have of common prices for mercenaries in this town that the going rate is 2 gold pieces per month.
Ah, you have me there, sir. I was told to always overvalue myself to fetch a competitive price.
That's not wrong, and I respect it. It's going to be 2 gold pieces a month.
That's fair, sir. I agree to your terms. Now, I do need 1 gold as a down payment.
Okay, I give him 1 gold.
Thank you, sir. My spear will come in handy to you, sir, and you can count on me standing between you and danger.
You'll mostly be watching the cart, but thank you.
What's that? Yeah. Oh, you want to get a cart?
Someone in the chat had a great idea. Buying a mule and a cart feels like a mugs game. You find somebody the mule and a cart and buy them for a month.
Oh.
Well, there's no one like that available right now. There's just this light footman carrying a spear with a very shiny helmet.
Okay, I love him.
Right.
Another Legend of Zelda character.
Does he have a name?
Yeah, does he have a name?
The name's Luft Dannen.
Luft Dannen. All right, right this way, Luft.
Well, you better let me go ahead, sir. Scout the way, make sure no one is trying to come at you this morning. And he starts moving ahead of the entire party with his spear ready.
All right. Spear first. That's the way to do it. He seems to know his business.
Weird flex, but okay.
Do you want to get the cart? I don't think we need the cart. We just brought back a fortune by hand.
Yeah, I think you're right. Do we want to try and upgrade any of our gear?
Well, here's what I will tell you. You certainly are welcome to upgrade anything you want, but I will say this. We play Stream of Blood for 2 hours. We play THAC0 Tuesdays for 2 hours. And the whole goal of THAC0 Tuesdays is to get as much gold as you can. You guys have already done very well. To get as much gold as you can before the time has elapsed, because at the end of the 2 hours, I automatically rule that anybody who is alive goes back to the fort. They go back to the fort. That's my mega dungeon rules, my dungeons crawling rules. So do whatever you like. If you've had enough adventure, hang out in the fort, find out things about the fort. But if you'd like to go back to the caves, you should head there soon.
30-minute gold rush. Let's go.
Agreed.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm gonna spend, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna turn my short sword into a real sword. You guys mind?
Okay.
That sounds great.
Kink at the armory. Kink.
They are your sword.
They are hammering out your sword, and so this is going to take 20 minutes. Everybody use the bathroom if you want, and we're just going to sit here for 20 minutes while the blacksmith, no, I'm kidding. They pull it out, but that does mean some time has passed in the day, and it is once again noon before you head out with Luft Dannen.
All right, to the cave. Luft, we're going to the caves of chaos.
Of course we are, sir. I would have expected nothing less. Haven't been there myself, but I'm sure I can handle whatever comes our way. And as you head to the caves, yes, hawks circle overhead, squirrels alight in the trees, but no creatures or strange humanoids wander into your path.
Can you read that description from the first time again?
Yes, absolutely.
Kidding.
The canyon is 400 feet. Actually, 440 feet. You head back into the Caves of Chaos, and I think that, to summarize that description one more time, there is a feeling of oppression. There is hatred. Hatred, I will use that word, in the air when you enter the stifled and eldritch atmosphere of the Caves of Chaos. And let's throw them back up when we can. My good pal doing double duty, Mr. Clinton Trucks. And now you know that the first little bushel on the lower side, on the south side of our drawing here, you know that is actually an ogre cave, or the cave of a large creature. And so, what would you like to do, gentlemen, as you get back?
Let's go in the hole.
Well, the ogre walked out of this cave and then up into this one, right? So they're both ogre caves as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, but let's remember that you've also gone to sleep. Approximately 24 hours has passed, and so lots of things could have changed while you were gone.
I would like to listen at doors. I have a 2 in 6 chance of hearing noises if I listen at doors. I'd like to listen to if I can hear the ogre.
Oh, that's a good idea. How did your 2 in 6 chance go?
I got a 1, so I think that's right. I was going to say 1, 2 is 2 in 6. I didn't declare that beforehand, but that was.
That's how I see it too. 1, 2. Actually, I usually say 5, 6, but that's fine. If you were thinking 1, 2, that's great.
I was thinking 1, 2. I declare. I am not bullshitting.
You hear a sound coming from in the cave. It is coming from that side chamber that you were in earlier, where you found the bag, and the sound is.
Oh,
perfect.
Let's send in Hotwater to slay the sleeping ogre.
Sir, I'd be honored if you'd allow me to go in and slay this foul beast of chaos.
Okay, if you want to do it, go for it.
This is light work. We want somebody who's not going to be heard.
Yeah, I can, sneak in here.
We're gaming the system here, Adam. The rules say no rolls necessary to kill a sleeping creature. All we got to do is get him in without waking the ogre, and it's a dead ogre.
And I'm really good at hiding within dungeons, so.
But you don't have a move silently skill, do you? Only the thief class does. So I will allow. I just want to make clear what you are attempting. I probably will still make you, my friend Hannibal, roll under an attribute.
This is not worth it. This is not worth it. We already stole his gold. He's already asleep. We don't need to kill the ogre. It's not worth it. Different hole, please.
All right, fair.
Yeah, there might not be much else.
That's same thing my wife says to me.
No.
Nobody like that, including me.
That's what she said, Adam. There, see, I fixed it. Okay, what is the what hole are you guys going to now?
We're just going this nearby hole.
Yeah, the closest. I'm thinking
the one just to the south.
This one here.
Yeah, that guy right there.
I stick my pole in the hole.
Sticking your pole in the hole, you are also struck by the awful smell, kind of the dank smell coming out of it. And let me, but no, that one is not. It has no leaves around it. So sticking your pole around it doesn't really make any kind of sound. It just kind of waves in the air near the front of the
Checking for proximity mines.
Okay.
Are we in order again?
Yeah, actually tell me your marching order if you don't mind.
An order that we go into the cave in.
Luft Dannon says he'll take point.
I would say Luft, Cinder,
Yep.
Fffilbrth and Hannibal. No, let's have Hannibal go in the middle, and Fffilbrth will bring up the rear. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so Luft, then Cinder. Am I right about this? And then Hannibal, and then Fffilbrth. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so you move in, and about 10 feet back, the passage turns suddenly from rough caves into worked tunnels. And I can also tell you that it forks. You can go straight ahead, you can go to your right, or you can go to your left.
Can we look down the caves at all? Look down the passageways?
You certainly may. So looking down, let's say you have 60 feet of infravision, don't you? Has anybody lit any light sources?
I did not.
If we need light sources, I think we no reason to wait, right? We've determined it doesn't ruin the infravision.
Yeah, are you? Because Hannah
alert them though, right?
It makes it impossible for you to surprise, but it doesn't necessarily alert them, right? It doesn't like suddenly go like tell people to come to you, but it does make it impossible for you to surprise anybody.
Okay. What do y'all think? Should we prepare one anyway?
Halfling, you do not have infravision, so you are as blind as our friend Cinder in these tunnels.
Yeah. Why not? I will. I will light the lamp with my lantern oil.
Okay, very good. You light your lamp, and in a 30-foot radius, suddenly a glow fills these worked tunnels. You can see that even though they are worked, they it doesn't look like it's not great dwarven craftsmanship, or even the humble, homey, hearthy construction of halflings. No, these have been chipped out of the rock by primitive tools. And there is much graffiti all over the walls that now becomes visible. That wasn't visible to the infravision. And it is written in Goblin. Does anybody speak Goblin?
I speak Goblin. I speak Goblin. Yes. All those long days at the Goblin Language Academy back in the Elderglades really paid off.
Very good. All I can say is that there's a lot of like things about the sexual performance and or proclivities of various goblins named like Ignek and Brittlebirth and Nargblock. But there is also they have used graffiti to kind of give each other directions. I guess they couldn't remember the tunnels in their own cave. So one arrow. Okay, so the tunnel going straight back. Now that you've lit it, it looks like it ends in a dead end. The tunnel going to the right, there is an arrow saying that it goes to Ogre Cave and Guard Room. And tunnel going to that was to your right, I just said. And going to your left, it also mentions a guard room and the masters.
Probably left. I don't think we want to go to the Ogre Cave.
Yeah, generally speaking, if you don't know, if all things being equal, go left. I tend to say, and the masters sound like they might have what we're looking for,
which is gold.
We need it.
Okay, let me roll something and see how things go when you start heading to the left with your lantern lit. Oh boy. Okay. You guys continue to walk left, and the passage splits again. There's a branch to your left, and then forward, more graffiti says where, this way to the masters.
And what's the other way?
The other way is unmarked.
To the masters. Should we turn out the light? No, I guess let's leave it on.
Okay.
What is it? It's a lantern, right? Is it a hooded lantern? Can we just cover the aperture so that we can make it dark and then, right?
Yes.
Is it? Referee?
Is it a hooded lantern? Roll a d6 for me, London Carlisle.
Let's do
If
it.
you can get a 6, it's a hooded lantern.
I rolled a 1.
My friend, it is a normal lantern. So would you like to turn it out?
I'm going to turn it out so we have a chance of surprising these people. But hopefully, Fffilbrth can, let us know where these people are.
Okay. So you guys wander closely. And as you approach, nobody has moved silently or anything like that. So you're all kind of like through the cavern. You can't move completely silently. And suddenly you see all these yellow eyes open in a chamber that opens up in front of you. And they are all like turning to the passage that you're coming into. And nobody has been surprised. But these things, your infravision picks them up pretty clearly. They have heat signatures. They're small, Fffilbrth. They're little. There are 6 of them. They're brandishing spears, and they move quickly. They start skittering toward you on 2 legs, prancing toward you.
I'll say in Goblin, I'm the Goblin boss, and you follow my orders now. I got orders from the master to tell you what to do.
Well, these creatures are quite stupid, so let's see what the reaction roll is when they meet you. I'm the Goblin boss, and you have to follow my orders now. That is what you're saying to them?
Yeah, I have a slightly better story, but yes, I've been, the master put me in charge of all you goblins. I'm the new Goblin boss.
Okay, so this is going to work. You have a +1 to your charisma?
Yeah, I've 13.
Wait, I have to see if this works. I have to see, but it could work. Is what I meant to say. It could work. Could you roll a d6 for me? And on a 6, I'm going to say that it works. But if you roll a 5, it still works because you had that +1.
A 6.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I got a 6.
Okay, these goblins all like look kind of confused, and they start speaking to you in Goblin, and they're like, "Big man, the master put you in charge?"
Yeah, I'm in charge of the goblins. Crazy, right? But it's true.
Goblin boss. What are you going to do?
Goblin boss. Yeah.
What are your orders, tall man?
We're moving the gold.
There's a bit. Yeah. Can we huddle for a second and confer?
I don't see why not.
Okay, so I'm gonna go tell him to go fight the ogre. Okay. What are you rolling?
I'm rolling to see if they are on to you when you huddle to talk for a second, but they rolled a 1, so nope.
Just like,
I could also tell them to go to sleep. What do you guys want? What do you guys want to do?
Can they Can they just bring us some gold? Maybe we need to.
Yeah,
bring some gold
yeah. Bring us gold. Gold inspection. We need to inspect all the gold. The
gold?
told us to inspect the gold.
So you now see that these things have these leathery tails, and they have like these like noses that they keep like wrinkling at you, like, and they're kind of almost sensing you through their sense of smell more than they are through those yellow eyes that you can see. And gold inspection, eh? Well, let's see here. Gold, we have none. Scant few coppers, Goblin boss.
Oh, okay. We get the coppers. Not really worth it. What else is there? What else is going on in this room? We saw all these goblins, but like, is there an exit?
A great question. A stairwell at the back of the room leads upward to a higher level.
Should we just have him? Should we just have him go to sleep and then we'll go upstairs?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So all right. Well, since the gold inspection is called off, the work day is over. Congratulations! Time for all goblins to go to sleep. Time to take a nap.
Good night, Moon.
Good night, Moon. Good night, goblins.
We no longer guard this passage. We may rest.
No, yeah. You can rest. It doesn't need to be guarded anymore.
Oh, thank you, great and merciful goblin boss. Thank you. It has been so long since we have closed our eyes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Get a hold of yourself. And so they start curling up in corners, pulling ratty blankets over themselves. Their tails curl up under the blankets with them.
This is great. So far, Fffilbrth is doing a pacifist run of this module.
Yeah.
So there's other stuff in this chamber other than that stairwell if you'd like to look around a little bit. Or you can...
Let's look around, but we're not going to disturb the goblins. Just what else can we see?
That makes sense.
Would the light help at all?
It would. That would be what it would illuminate things. So you turn... Are you going to turn it on?
Yes.
Okay, you turn on the light and you see that there is a small table, and that the table has there's also a barrel with 60 spears and 2 benches and a keg of water.
I guess I'll take a couple more spears. I'm not keeping track of encumbrance. How many spears can I carry, do you think?
I can tell you how much spears weigh. I think things are measured in coin.
See, I don't know how many coins I can carry.
One spear weighs 30 coin, and I don't know how much we can carry either.
I'll take one more spear, so now I have 5 spears. I think that'll be plenty.
Okay, everybody's got all the spears they need, right?
Yeah. Fffilbrth 5 spears.
So I guess we'll go upstairs. Is there any markings that say what's upstairs?
The goblin graffiti stops here. You climb the stairwell and you can tell that you've easily gone up to maybe like the ridge, like up the side of the ridge, but inside of the hill. And then you come to a landing where you must turn to the right and go up further steps.
Okay,
Let's do
go.
Okay, very good. Let me see here.
Our retainer is in front.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So you come to a door, quite a thick and large one. It's a wooden door, but it has been, it has craftsmanship and it has been worked into the side of the worked stone walls here. And it has a very small little you could see through it with like little bars on it so that people could perhaps talk through it or look through it. And that is what greets you at the top of the stairs.
Can I peer through?
You can peer through. Is your lantern still going? Well, you have infravision. Yeah. Forgive me. Your infravision shows you that there are, let's see if they're awake or asleep. They are not active right now, but there are tall humanoids in this room. Let me see how I'm going to describe them to you. Oh, I know how I'm going to describe them. Tall humanoids in this room. They have worked armor. They have leather bindings, boots, but they have enormous kind of like noses that kind of point upward, like almost into their forehead, and enormous ears that hang out and go up above the tops of their skulls. And they wear caps and things. They definitely have a thing for clothing. They look a little better equipped than the creatures you've seen so far as well. Like they have belt buckles and, actual studs on some of their leather work.
How many?
There are currently 5.
Are they kobolds? I speak kobold.
No, too big to be.
They might be too big. Oh, you now see. Oh no, you see dark spots like lining the walls, Fffilbrth, but your infravision won't tell you what those things are.
I gotta be honest.
There are runes written on the door.
Oh, can I read the runes?
Yeah. If you read do you have rune speech? What's your intelligence?
17.
Roll under your intelligence. You speak Goblin, right? Roll under your intelligence on a D20.
I speak Goblin and Kobold and Common and Elvish and the neutral tongue that all people who are neutral share. I got a 16 against 17.
That means you read this, and Fffilbrth translates it as "Come in. We'd like to have you for dinner."
Is there a comma in there or something? Is that like
it's a cookbook? I'm not super comfortable with. We're outnumbered in front of us and behind us. I'm not. I think a judicious retreat right now is probably a good move. I don't want to go forward through 5 guys, or back through 6 more goblins.
Are the things asleep, or they're not active?
They're not asleep, but I've decided that they are not active, so they are not like running around, like looking out the door. You can see that they are kind of like resting or talking quietly to each other in their guttural speech.
I see. And this is the only exit out of the goblin room that we went through.
Out of the one that you went through, yes, but you recall that there was another tunnel that you didn't take because it did not lead to the masters.
Yeah, I don't see any treasure, and if a fight starts, not all of us are leaving. So
yeah, okay. So we turn around. But I mean, but why were the goblins guarding? There could be something great up there.
The masters, they put guards on the door.
I could cast sleep on them and maybe put one of them asleep.
I'll follow you guys, but I will say, let's say you put 2 of them asleep, it's still 1-on-1. Any single hit could drop one of us. 0 hit points is not down. 0 hit points is dead. Right?
Got
it.
It's true. I have 3 hit points. I'm getting
exactly.
A little cocky.
So, and most weapons do a d6, so you have a 50-50 chance of dying the first time you're hit.
Okay.
Right?
All right. What do you think, London?
Yeah, I think maybe back out just for the longevity. I would say, because you raise a valid point about the the HP.
Yeah,
but I want gold. I want gold.
I want gold too, but I want a fight we can win. I'm not looking to. We're not here for a fair fight or honor. We're looking for easy wins.
We got to make a decision. Jared's rolling dice at us.
Yeah.
Backing out.
Okay, we're backing out.
You arrive at the bottom. You go all the way to the bottom, or you go to the landing?
Oh, the land. Was there anything on the landing? No, just was up and then.
No, there wasn't really anything.
How about the landing and then a listen?
Great, I'll allow you to listen. The goblins below are talking. But why is he a goblin boss if he is not a goblin? Fool! Many creatures are above the goblins. See you. The ogre is also our master. Yes, but the ogre is ugly like us. They're really talking this through, and they seem to have thrown you into doubt.
I say, Eddie, who here is doubting the goblin boss? Who among you is doubting the goblin boss? What's this I hear? You're doubting the beautiful, tall, fair-haired, long-lived goblin boss?
It was Chark. And they all point to one of the goblins who's like, no, I doubted not the goblin boss.
I kill Chark.
Oh, yeah? You move in and you kill him?
No, don't kill Chark.
Sorry, we rolled for alignment.
Okay, are you chaotic?
Yes, I am.
Go in and let's see how well you do it. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. Because Chark isn't going to just sit there. I'll allow it to be. He's surprised, so you can go ahead and take this roll.
13 plus 1, so 14.
14. That's really actually quite good. Wait, this is amazing.
Poor Chark.
A 13 hits his armor class. Do your damage.
Oh.
And I rolled a 4 plus 1, so 5.
And now they're going to roll their morale in general, because although the goblins are not going to attack you if they fail this morale roll, they are a cowardly lot and may all run from you. And where they run, we'll find that out if they run. Let's see.
All I have to do is not question the goblin boss.
How much damage did you do, Clinton Trex?
I rolled a 4 and I got a plus 1, so 5.
Okay, yeah, so that was enough to kill him. So what are you using?
A sword.
You stab Chark through the guts before he has a chance to put up a defense. And the other goblins, they do not freak out. They are like, oh, mercy on us, goblin boss. Mercy on the poor.
Yeah. I act like that's the
That's
idea.
right,
Yeah. You listen to the goblin boss, or you're gonna get it from my man here.
I got the arms crossed. I'm just like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have fooled them completely, and so you may exit safely.
Okay.
Or hang out with these guys a little longer. It's up to you.
Yeah.
As we walk up, goblins only understand one thing. We had to speak in the language they knew.
Hey, you're like, I'm the one who really speaks their language.
Has there been anything? What's happened upstairs in the last day?
Upstairs?
Yeah, you know, there's up there. The goblin boss wants a full report of activities in this area.
Ah, the large one, the ogre, the big tooth. He went and spoke to the masters and told them that intruders have invaded our realm and stolen his treasure.
The masters are the ones upstairs.
Yes. Powerful are they? Able to kill us instantly, much like you.
Yeah. Well, because we're masters too.
Yes. Great masters. Would you care for a cup of water?
I pretend to sip it. Good water, thank you.
It smells really bad.
Okay, well, we're on a secret assignment from the masters. Deep cover, goblin boss. So don't tell anyone that we were here.
Don't tell everyone. Remember, Iglek. Remember, do not tell that the new goblin bosses were here.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, we'll come and check on you, and we might be watching you even if you can't see us. So always watch out for us and do what we say forever.
Chark fell on his sword, if anybody asks.
They still believe you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrific.
With 30 seconds left of our adventure.
I get.
Do you head back to town?
I think so, right?
I guess so.
You do, unmolested, you head back to town. You've only been adventuring several hours, and so you make it back with the XP of having dealt with a goblin encounter. So maybe I should only give it to you if you kill them, but I feel like you got a lot of good information about the caverns here, the caves, and you dealt with goblins in a smart way. So I'm going to do XP just a little differently and give you half XP for these creatures.
Take it.
There were 6 of them, and you'll get the balance when you kill them, maybe, if it is indeed you, because constantly there are adventurers moving in and out of the fort, so you never know when someone else might stumble through. Let me tell you how much XP they're worth.
While you do,
yes,
back at the tavern, Cinder goes to the table, sweeps away all of the cutlery and plates and flagons, and begins to carve in the wood a map of the caverns as we've discovered.
And the tavern keeper goes,
Hey, what are you doing to my table?
Roll credits.
No, what's your charisma, Cinder? What's your charisma?
9.
Roll under it.
Oh, okay. 12.
That's over it, and so he makes you pay him 2 gold to fix the table.
Can I pay him 2 gold to leave the table?
What? Okay.
I'm trying to.
Yeah,
it's a
he's like,
persistent
pay
game.
me
I want
2
a map
gold
we
for
can
a
keep
new.
coming
Yeah,
back.
pay me 2 gold for a table. He's gonna buy a new table, but you can carve that one if you want. And everybody gets 18 XP for the goblins. And then everybody says or does one final thing that they can say or do in one sentence, starting with, well, no, Cinder just did his. So Cinder has to pay the tavern keep, but he's allowed to carve the table. And what does Hannibal Hotwater do?
Hannibal Hotwater goes to this table in the corner and says, "This is the rumor table. I'm claiming it."
And then he
Great.
flexes super hard.
And then he just flexes.
And then someone goes, "No, I've heard a rumor," and they start moving back to the table. And then it is Lord Fffilbrth's turn. High Prince Fffilbrth, what's your final act in tonight's game, sir?
High Prince Fffilbrth does some magical research, which I think he does by meditating on the memories of his ancestors' eldritch knowledge.
Yes, he drops into the dream time of the elven people, a single moment in their lost kingdom right before it was destroyed during its golden age many thousands of years ago. And he sees his ancestors moving about on their, mother of pearl streets among their obsidian and monolithic castles, the likes of which have never been seen again. And he makes his way to the Tower of Sorcery so many thousands of years to go. But of course, he is only in his astral form. And there he opens one of the globes of power that contain knowledge to the elven people. And he does his magical research. And what does that do for him? Does it do something for him?
He's trying to add a spell to his spell book.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to look up. Wait, let me see. How does he do that?
Oh, it says when the
you need to have a scroll.
Magical research, many spell research, new spells. So I didn't read exact stuff about it, but I came to understand that doing magical research could increase the number of spells in my spell book. But maybe I'm.
Well, that makes sense to me. But let's see. Magical research. Yes, here we go. Creating new spells. The player should describe in detail the spell they wish to create.
That's the spell. And that's to create
the cost and time. The character must be capable of casting the spells of the level of the new spell will be. And researching the new spell takes 2 weeks per spell level and 1,000 gold per spell level. So if you would like to learn
that's to invent a spell, Jared. That's to create a brand new spell. I just want to learn. I just want read magic to be in my spell book. That's all I'm trying to do, is to get read. But maybe it's not. Maybe I'm misusing this.
I do think that it is. You say create new spells, but it really means using one of the spells that are in the book. But you didn't need to find a scroll to learn it. You just kind of researched it for a while, then spent 1,000 gold, and then you get it.
But we don't have 1,000 gold.
No, you don't. But I will tell you that I will consider the 2 weeks research time to be elapsed. You have been spending time doing this, and so whenever you have that 1,000 gold, you can go ahead and buy yourself a new spell. And in the meantime, I will also research for the next time our friend Mr. Adam Conover and High Prince Fffilbrth are back on the channel to make sure, back on THAC0 Tuesdays, to make sure I have that right. But I think that is how it goes.
We can talk about it.
We can talk about it. We'll have some parlay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was tonight's THAC0 Tuesday as our elf High Prince Fffilbrth enters the dreaming time and communes with his people. I would like to say that we enjoyed communing with you. London, what did you think? This time it was a little bit of a different outing.
Yeah, I feel better about life now. I didn't die, and I'm happy.
You made a bunch of money.
And made a bunch of money. Not as much as we could have. That wasn't funny. That wasn't fucking funny. But we had a great time. I had a great time.
It was funny though when you guys remember when the gold wasn't real.
Yeah, exactly. That.
I like that you discovered it, and we're so delighted by it.
What do you think, Clint? Clint, did you ever play these games like this when you were younger?
So I am not quite old enough to have played any of the BX, first set of D&D. My first was second edition. Actually, I had AD&D books, and we played, but clearly played wrong.
Of course, yeah.
And then second edition is when we got very, very serious about it.
Yeah.
So,
And Adam Conover, you've told us a little bit of your history buying the Dungeon magazines. What do you think? Do you think Lord Fffilbrth has a long, illustrious career ahead of him?
I think so. I think I'd like to try to get him to at least level 2, which will only take me another 10 sessions. So maybe in a year from now, we'll be level 2.
Look, it might not be as many as you think. I want to make sure you guys all took the 18 XP for the goblins.
Yep.
And I want to also say that, like, if you defeat something big, you get big XP for it. But clearly in this game, you've got to figure out how to do that in a clever way, because just wandering into the lair and, rolling initiative isn't going to work out. I have a comment from Tullian. Has anybody tried a traditional 1E bard yet? There are books for old school essentials where they open up the classes, and there are a few more classes. But I like going with the classes that were in the original BX manual for now. Maybe when we discover other islands or even other parts of the Isle of the Sword, we will open up those classes a little bit.
My recollection of AD&D is that bard was a multi-class. You had to be so many levels of thief, so many levels of magic user.
Yes.
Right.
I remember this from checking the books out of the library. Again, there was a whole lot of, there was multi-classing and dual classing, and the differences between those were extremely complex. There was a big difference. And bard was it was like a thief magic user or something like that.
Lore-wise, what's the origin of the 10-foot pole being significant? It was always on the equipment sheet, and it was really useful for traps. These guys haven't come across any traps yet, but I can promise you the Caves of Chaos does contain some. They'll be upon you when you least expect it. I hope we can bring some of these people back. I don't think we're having a THAC0 Tuesday next week, but it'll be back very, very soon. And we will keep bringing new players into this same continuous game world. Thanks to my players, Clinton Trucks. You can see more of him on the Stream of Blood. And London Carlisle, when can people watch Spot Hidden?
Yo, Spot Hidden is coming back on March 2nd. So the first Tuesday of March. Before Stream of Blood, if you're streaming on that week, check us out. New campaign coming at you.
Yeah, and their stuff's really good, so be sure to check it out. And Adam Conover, should people just check out your tweets?
No, Jared, I have a podcast.
Right.
It's called Factually. It's a very good podcast where I interview experts and authors and things.
It is actually an amazing podcast that actually has good info that you can use. So people should listen to that.
News you can use.
It makes me feel better and sometimes worse after I listen to it. but often better.
Thank you for listening to it.
Of course. Yeah, I listen to a lot of the COVID coverage is what I listen to.
I stream on Twitch too, so you can follow me.
Oh, yeah.
Will do.
I wish we had more hours. You can see why people played the old school games for 7 hours at a jump. One day we'll do that. One day we'll have the stream of Bloodathon and do that. But for now, we are going to bid goodbye to everybody, and I'm going to go finish The Americans season 6. I love you all. This has been the Stream of Blood. Until next time, happy gaming, you son of a bitch. Oh, wait, I should say...
There's a lot of closing information we should give people, Jared.
Oh, okay, if you insist. I don't know why I thought it was all over all of a sudden.
Oh, Jared, you need to let people know that Thursday we're going to be back on the Stereo app with our show, Campaign Promises. Where you and I challenge each other to... we present each other with a dream campaign we'd love to play in one day, and then the other person picks a game system that they would use to run it. And we take live questions from listeners. And that's on the Stereo app.
And that's it. So we'll see you next time.
Nope.
Happy gaming. No, there's more?
Later that very evening, we're back to conclude our arc of the Neptune Society, the Toy Maker of York. With,
oh, yeah.
Right? With Rhett Miller, 97s, Will Weldon and Eliza Skinner, and Will Baser of the Ain't Slayed Nobody podcast.
Right.
So,
but that's it. And so until next.
Not remotely.
Okay.
Because Saturday, we're back with more Blood and Blades. But we are not introducing a new crew, nor are we bringing anyone back for a downtime session or a score. We are instead going to do a faction turn. We are going to be interacting with you, the chat, and the listeners, viewers, to see what is happening in the ecosystem of Duskfall.
That's
shared
awesome.
by our players.
And they'll be able to control some of the factions and make decisions for them, right?
We haven't figured out how, but we're working on that.
That's going to happen. I insist.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out.
Now, and then, of course, every Sunday.
I bet that there's something else coming, though, on Sunday. Wow, we stream a lot.
We do. Sunday, more Vampires of Pittsburgh. And that thing is going gangbusters. The last session.
I have so much fun with vampires right now. I mean, it's always been fun, but there's some times where I'm kind of like, ooh, this thing's really cooking. And Vampires was really cooking last week. So
if
be sure to tune into that.
Up, please go check it out on YouTube. Every episode is up. That, I think, is all of our schedule stuff. But Stream of Blood
Blood's also a podcast.
All right. Now you know what's going on. Shall I leave it to you?
No, go ahead.
Stream of Blood is also a podcast. Please check it out on your podcaster of choice.
Rate and subscribe and rate it,
all that stuff.
Review it and download it. It lets people know where we're at.
We're doing cool stuff, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, lets them know. Yeah, go ahead, Clint.
We played Old School Essentials today. Old School Essentials is from Necrotic Gnome Games. Check them out. It's a beautiful book. They're doing God's own work. Our map shown earlier and the background you see is original artwork by Will Pottorf. Go to willpottorf.com to see more of his work. The map of the Caves of Chaos is from MS Paint, drawn by our own Jared Logan.
That's my medium, is MS Paint, Microsoft Paint, for people that don't know it. And you get it with any kind of Microsoft suite, so you can just use that if you want to do your own. I'll talk about more. If you guys want to shoot me some questions on the Discord about the Microsoft Paint, I'm available.
He's got a lot of tips and tricks. Stream of Blood. We're on all the socials. We're on Twitter and Instagram, _Stream of Blood _. The best place to talk to us is on our Discord, Stream of Blood's Server of Blood. And we are on Facebook for some unknown reason.
It's because of Putin.
Sure.
I'm on Facebook so I can suckle at the sweet teat of Papa Putin and learn my marching orders and the Great Awakening.
Our masters in the motherland need to keep an eye on us, and it's done through Facebook. Special thanks to Brian Baldinger.
Wait, no. I'll do this part.
All right.
I want to thank Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks for helping us create this. I want and holding this every week. Without them, it would not happen. And I think, Clint, you are now always on THAC0 Tuesdays because you're so good at it.
We didn't agree to that.
Well, I've just said it, and the chat agrees.
They haven't said a word about it. They're not
thank
happy
you.
About this either.
They're thinking it, and in a moment, the chat will confirm it. Also, Megan Arch, thank you for being our social media manager. And also, thank you to Garrett Ross for creating our logo, Andrew Orvidal for creating our opening sting. And until next time, happy gaming, you son of a bitch. Was it over now?
It's over now. That was it. Great job.
All right. We did it.